Are you living a life worth living? Welcome to Tools to Manifest Your Dream Life with myself, Glenyce. Thank you so much for being here. I am so incredibly grateful. Yes, we are still in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. If you watched the other video, I'm in the same spot pretty much. The beautiful backyard that we have here. It's amazing. If you are listening via podcast, hello and thank you. I know I often reference the video and I apologize. Are you living a life worth living? And I'm actually going to say it a little bit differently. Are you living your life worth living? This show is an invite to something very unique that I have starting on August 13th. It is the Magical Bundles. There are 11 days. If you would like to join, the link is above or below or in the show notes. If you would like to join, you would get an email every day starting August 11th, 2024. So if you're listening later, this is over. I'm sorry. It is time sensitive. You will receive an email where I will have a bundle of previous products and yumminess that all go together to contribute to you creating a life worth living. For 11 days, you will receive an email a day with that bundle that's an incredibly reduced rate just for you. And for those of you who don't know, August 23rd, which would be the last email, happens to be my birthday. You do need to be on that list though, so go find the link above or below. If you don't see it, reach out and I will get it for you. I want to talk today about 3 different tools that you can utilize to manifest a life worth living for you, because that's going to be different for each and every one of us. I know for sure that there are many of you who would have no desire to live the way that hubby and I do right now in terms of traveling the world, pet and house sitting. And I know there's many of you that would like that also, but it isn't a life worth living for some of you. Tip number 1 is looking at what does that mean for you? What is a life worth living for you? The quickest way to be able to be aware of what that is to imagine that you have 1 month left to live of your life. In exactly 1 month, you are no longer going to be here. You have all the money in the world and you have your health. How are you going to spend that month? Your response will be a really good idea of what a life worth living is for you. If you thought automatically you would go and spend time with friends and family for that last month, then probably a life worth living for you is with people that you care about and that care about you around you. When I asked hubby that, his response was all the different places he'd want to travel. So for him, a life worth living is traveling, which actually makes sense. And mine was the family and friends part. You want to just be present with that. Now, I don't mean there's only one part of life worth living, like whatever your one response is, there's probably many. So what you could do then, or what I could do in that case, is look at, okay, I'm spending all the time with friends and family. What else? What else is going on? What else would I like to be choosing? And that will give me more and more ideas of what that life worth living is for me. Because often if we're not present with that, with what that might be for us, we put a lot of our energy into the things that we're supposed to be interested, that we're supposed to care about, like money and success and all the things. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. If that was your response, you wanted to build a multi-million-dollar business in that month, cool, please go with that. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just the things that we often put our time and energy into are pretty much the exact opposite of what we might see as a life worth living. It's just what this reality makes really significant. This is why getting present with what your life worth living is, I say that as though it's one thing or as though it's a constant. It is not. It is going to change. There would have been a time like 10 years ago, I would not have an interest in doing what we're doing right now. I had other things that were much more of a life worth living for me. When you're asking that, or when you're looking at that, just know that it's not about this is the way it always is. It's really just like right now. What is a life worth living for you? Get present with what that is for you. Even jot some things down, maybe a note on your phone or a journal or something, so that you can look at that. You can get present with that. In my case, with time with friends and family, I was already very well aware of that. How did I know? Well, because we're constantly traveling. What I knew, we were away for, 10 or 11 months. Now, we did come back at Christmas. I spent some time with my family. We spent some time here in Edmonton with Rodney's family. And so then, when we were looking at coming back to Canada, because we spent a lot of time in the US, what we looked at is then, okay, June was basically time with my family. I wanted to be in the area where my family was. And July and part of August are here in Edmonton with Rodney's family. So I make sure that I work it in. Now, do I want to live in that area with my family constantly? No, but time with them is important to me. So I make sure that I work it in. I make sure that we have that. So it is looking at, how do I work this in? How can I create more of this if that's the case? Maybe I had no time with them at all. Then looking at this and going, wow, it is important to me. It is a life worth living for me. How do I work that in? What do I need to change? What action do I need to take? And it might not be right away. Let's say I was working in another country and it's really difficult to get away. So it might be whenever I get my holidays, then I'm booking that, going back to visit them. Look at that for you. What is a life worth living, and how can you start putting those things in place now? It's cool to think about having a month and having all the money and having your health and being very clear. But honestly, if you were to talk to people probably on their deathbed or people who died suddenly, they would probably all tell you the same thing. There's never enough time. If we're like, oh, in the future I will, in the future I will. No, stop. What are you going to choose now? How are you going to put these things in place now? Another tool to manifest a life worth living, I just spoke briefly about it, but I want to talk about it as its own tip because it is so relevant for us. It is such a big way to start manifesting, is to look at and ask every day, what action can I take today to manifest this right away? And then whatever action comes to mind, write it down and take that action. I make it sound really simple, and I know that it's not because I manifest my own stuff. I get it. With that, I am doing something really fun on social media right now where I am manifesting with whoever would like to follow along, $10,000. I'm just going to go on social media and talk about the tool I'm using until I reach $10,000. Just something for fun. If you'd like to follow along, I've got that on TikTok and Instagram. We'll have the links in the show notes or in the description below the video, however you're listening or watching this. Just something to really utilize these tools even more. I do better when I do it with a group of people. So asking, like, what action can I take to manifest this right away? What action can I take to manifest this today? The other way that you could do this is you could write down a bunch of actions, like logical actions, I'm going to call them, where maybe you'd like to move. Maybe you've always wanted to live in a different country. And that's a life worth living for you, is to move to this other country. Okay, cool. What are the logical steps? Okay, you need to find out about maybe a visa. You need to find out about what's available there to live, like all the things. So write all of those down. Rip them up individually, like onto different pieces of paper. Fold each one up, throw them in a jar. And then every day, go and be like, okay, now I work with my energetic team a lot. So close my eyes and say, hey guys, which one today? And I put my hand in and I pull it out. And just take action. Just take action. Even if it's, let's say you pull the one out to see what's available for housing. Even if it's just doing a quick Google search, maybe that's all you have time for. Do it. Take some sort of action towards creating a life worth living. Now, there are many different tools and tips that I could talk about. And this one I'm going to end with, I'm not sure if I got 3 or 4 or I'm not sure. But anyway, this is one that I love, and it might be for a little bit more woo-woo peeps, is to actually engage with the energies of whatever it is you would like. So let's stick with the example of moving to another country. Then engage with the energies of that country in terms of, hey, let's say it's Ireland. Hey, Ireland, would it contribute if I came and lived there? And if you get a yummy yes, awesome. Okay, can you show me what's required? Show me who to talk to, show me where to go. Invite it to contribute to you manifesting it. It's such a fun way to play. In my experience, everything has a consciousness of its own. So whether it's an animal or it's a chair you're sitting in or it's a country or it's a dream that you have. One of my quotes is, the dreams that you're dreaming of are dreaming of you too. Everything has a consciousness. You can actually connect with that energetic consciousness and co-create with it. It can contribute to you. In fact, It's waiting to contribute to you. The more that you're willing to ask and receive and engage and connect, it's amazing. It's truly, truly amazing what is possible in my experience with all of that. Again, a little bit woo-woo, but I would say if you haven't ever tried it, please try it. So I think you will really enjoy how quickly things manifest and how you start really getting a sense that everything has your back. Everything. This beautiful trees here, this beautiful chair literally has my back. Everything has our back when we're willing to gift and receive with it. So engage with it. Talk with it like you would a friend. Ask it to show you the way. Ask it to contribute. Ask it to be magical and miraculous with you. And I would love to hear your experience with engaging with the energies, especially if you're new, but even if you've been doing it for a while, just post below, send me an email, send me a message, let me know how you engage, how it works for you. I would just love to hear from you. So along with the magical bundles opt-in that you'll find above or below, I'm also inviting you, my sweet friends, to Sugar Baby of the Universe. Yes, I am doing a class called Sugar Baby of the Universe, where it's basically all about receiving even more from the universe and creating magic and miracles. The link will be above or below or in the show notes. If you can't find it, reach out. I will get it for you. Have a great week, sweet friends. I look forward to chatting again soon.